Welcome in, everybody. Today we're taking a deep dive into Carl Sagan's Contact.
Yeah, Contact, a story that takes listening to the universe to a whole other level. We're talking about deciphering a message from an intelligence so advanced.
It'd be like explaining the internet to a colony of ants.
Exactly.
We're using your excerpts from the book, by the way, to guide our conversation. And we really want to explore not just, the science behind it all,
Right.
but Ellie Arroway's journey as a scientist, as a person, and what this cosmic call really means for humanity. Where do we even fit in this vast universe?
Well, that's what's so captivating about Contact. It's this amazing blend of hard science. Sagan doesn't shy away from the technical details,
Right.
but it's also got these deeply human questions woven throughout. It's a thriller for sure,
Yeah.
but it also makes you think about curiosity, faith, our place in a cosmos that's, well, it's almost too big to comprehend, isn't it?
Totally. And I think there's no better place to start than with young Ellie, the little girl who tears apart a radio expecting to find, like a tiny orchestra inside.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. She's just hardwired for this, don't you think? This need
Yeah.
to figure out how things work.
Absolutely. It foreshadows her dedication, her relentless pursuit of knowledge. And, that pursuit leads her to challenge norms even when people push back. Like her stepfather, John Stoughton, a physics professor who believes science is a man's world. Can you believe that?
Oh, Stoughton. Talk about a closed mind. But it's almost like his disapproval fuels her ambition even more.
Definitely. She doesn't let anything hold her back.
No. She dives headfirst into this field, dominated by, as Sagan puts it, serious boys vying for recognition. But she becomes a force to be reckoned with.
She does. And yet, even surrounded by all these brilliant minds, she's still searching for something more. Sagan describes those same serious boys as almost helpless in ordinary human affairs. There's this interesting paradox there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
This tension between, intellectual brilliance and the messiness of actually being human.
Right. I mean, we're all human, even scientists at the top of their game. And Ellie, she craves connection. I mean, look at her relationship with Jesse, the musician. It reminds us that even the most dedicated scientists, they long for passion, for experiences that go beyond equations and theories.
It's in that yearning for connection that her own search for meaning takes shape. It's not just scientific curiosity driving her. She's wrestling with these huge existential questions. What's our purpose? Why are we here? Especially in this vast, often indifferent universe. And this is where Peter Valerian comes in, right?
Okay, yeah, Valerian.
A scientist who embraces spirituality, who becomes a mentor to Ellie, guiding her exploration of both the empirical and the unknown.
So Valerian's the one who really gets Ellie hooked on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or ETI.
He does. He opens her eyes to the sheer scale of the universe. The possibility of other civilizations out there, maybe even trying to make contact. It's like he plants a seed in her mind and it just grows and grows.
It becomes an obsession almost.
In a way, yes. But, and this is important, even Valerian, open as he is to the possibility of alien life, he still emphasizes the importance of scientific rigor.
Right, you didn't want to jump to conclusions.
Exactly. Any speculation, any theory, it has to be grounded in the laws of nature. And that's key to understanding Ellie's approach when they discover the signal from Vega.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. We're talking Project Argus now, this massive radio telescope array, listening for even the faintest whispers from space.
Millions of frequencies being scanned. Imagine the amount of data.
It's like finding a needle in a cosmic haystack. And then, boom, a pattern emerges. Not just any pattern, though. We're talking a sequence of prime numbers.
The use of prime numbers is genius. Think about it. It's a mathematical concept that any intelligence, any civilization capable of building a radio transmitter would recognize.
It's like a universal language.
Exactly. It cuts through the noise of the cosmos and screams, "We are here!"
I bet the adrenaline was pumping when they discovered that. I can't even imagine. But Ellie, the scientist, doesn't jump to any conclusions.
Right.
She and her team, they methodically eliminate every other possibility.
Military interference, technical glitches.
They don't rule anything out. It really shows the discipline and the skepticism that's at the heart of real science. It's not about being right. It's about uncovering the truth, whatever that truth may be.
And the truth, as they discover, is stranger than fiction. Hidden within the prime number sequence, there's another layer.
Oh boy, here we go.
A retransmitted television broadcast. But not just any broadcast. Footage of Adolf Hitler opening the 1936 Olympic Games.
Now, why would they send that?
It's a chilling choice, a warning. a reflection of our own capacity for violence. Or maybe just the first strong signal they picked up, a random echo of our past. It's unsettling, to say the least.
It really makes you wonder what they make of us. What are they trying to say? It's like they're holding up a mirror to humanity, but this mirror is, well, it's a little distorted.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity. Now we're not just talking about finding intelligent life. We're grappling with what they might think of us, what message they're trying to convey through this strange cosmic-looking glass.
So last we left off, Ellie and the team at Project Argus, they've got this message from the stars, this sequence of prime numbers, and this weird echo of Earth's past. It's a lot to process.
And that's where Sagan really gets into the nitty-gritty of how we as humans might actually react to something like this. Because let's be real, it wouldn't be all sunshine and roses.
No, not at all. I mean, news
Le-
like that, it would turn the world upside down. Governments would be freaking out, scientists would be scrambling, everyone would be suspicious.
Exactly. It'd be chaos. You'd have this global game of chess playing out, every nation more worried about holding on to power than working together. Sagan does a great job of capturing that tension, that struggle between self-interest and, well, the need to act as one species when you're facing something so much bigger than yourself.
And in the middle of all that, you have the creation of the World Message Consortium, this attempt to, bring together the best and brightest from around the world to try and solve this puzzle.
Think about how hard that would be. Trying to get everyone on the same page. It'd be like herding cats, each with its own idea of what to do.
A recipe for disaster, maybe?
It's a reflection of our own world, just amplified by 1,000 with the stakes so high.
And just when it seems like it can't get any weirder, the message throws them a curveball. Yeah. Deep within the signal, a third layer is revealed.
Blueprints for a machine. And not just any machine. Something advanced, way beyond what we're capable of.
Imagine having that dropped in your lap. A blueprint, a design from the stars. It'd be huge, but also terrifying.
Yeah, I can see that. You'd be like, what is this thing? Is it a gift, a test, or something we should be really, really afraid of?
It's a Pandora's box, really.
Yeah.
And humanity is torn on what to do. Do we dare build it? Or do we leave well enough alone? Talk about an ethical dilemma. The possibilities are endless. I mean, imagine what we could learn, what problems we could solve if we could crack this technology. But the risks, too. What if we create something we can't control?
That's the big question, isn't it? Our curiosity, that drive to explore and discover, it often goes hand in hand with our capacity for, well, messing things up.
And in contact, this tension, it has some real consequence.
Unfortunately, yes.
You're talking about the sabotage of the American machine, right? Which not only sets the project back, but also leads to the death of David Drumlin.
Drumlin, a brilliant scientist, skeptical right to the end, even with a message from the stars scaring him in the face. It's a reminder that even with something this big, this extraordinary, we're still human, and humans are capable of some pretty dark things.
Fear, suspicion, they can make people do crazy things.
Absolutely. But the story doesn't end there. The Japanese, they managed to construct their version of the machine. And a crew of 5 is chosen, a diverse group, each with their own unique skills and perspectives. Almost like
Like they were chosen for a reason.
yeah, like the machine is looking for something specific. Not just intellect, but something more. Empathy, maybe. Or a willingness to believe in the impossible.
As if the machine itself is part of the test.
That's an interesting way to put it.
And, well, it turns out to be a test unlike anything they could have imagined. Because when the machine activates, it's not just launching into space, it's opening a doorway, a cosmic portal to somewhere else, a place beyond our understanding.
A journey through a wormhole. A rip in the fabric of space-time. The kind of thing that seems impossible, but then Sagan, he explains it in a way that almost makes sense.
And terrifying.
Oh, definitely terrifying. Imagine the feeling, the sensory overload of being ripped away from everything you know, tossed into this whirlwind of stars and galaxies, completely untethered from reality as we understand it.
So Ellie and the crew, they're hurtling through this wormhole, right?
Yeah.
Ripped from their world and thrown into the unknown.
Imagine the disorientation, the sheer sensory overload of it all. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the journey ends.
And they find themselves where?
On a beach. A beautiful, pristine beach. It looks like Earth, feels like Earth, but something's not quite right.
An understatement, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's here they encounter these beings, these entities that take on familiar forms, including, and this is where it gets really interesting, Ellie's deceased father.
Talk about messing with your head, right? It's both comforting and terrifying at the same time. And that's where Sagan's genius really shines through, this blurring of reality and illusion, making us question what's real, what's not.
It's like, is this really happening? Or is it some kind of elaborate trick?
Exactly. Are these beings benevolent guides or something else? And then there's the silence from Vega. The moment the machine activated, the signal just stopped. Like they knew what was happening. Like they planned it this way.
So the journey itself was the test, not just of their technology, but of their beliefs.
It seems that way, doesn't it? But then comes the real challenge, coming back to Earth, back to a world that demands proof and having none.
Ellie, she has no evidence, no way to prove what she experienced, just her memories, her conviction.
And she's met with skepticism, of course, disbelief, even accusations of fabrication.
But Ellie, being Ellie, she doesn't back down. She's always been driven to uncover the truth, ever since she was a kid taking apart that radio.
And now she embarks on a different kind of search. This time she's looking for proof in the most unlikely of places. Pi.
Pi, you mean the mathematical constant?
The infinite irrational number. Ellie becomes convinced that within those endless digits, there's a message, a sign, embedded within the very fabric of reality.
Wow, that's a hell of a leap.
It speaks to her belief, wouldn't you say? This idea that the universe isn't random but designed, that there's a deeper meaning woven into the very fabric of existence.
And she finds it.
She does. Hidden deep within Pi, a perfect circle. Not just an anomaly, but a clear sign of intentionality, of design.
It's a powerful message that we're not alone, that someone or something out there created all of this.
It makes you wonder what else we might find if we just know where to look.
That's the beauty of contact, and of Sagan's work in general. It pushes us to explore, to question, to embrace the vastness and the mystery of the universe, and to consider the possibility that maybe, just maybe, we're part of something much bigger than we can even imagine.
Absolutely.
And there you have it, our deep dive into contact, a story that reminds us to keep looking, keep listening, and to never ever stop questioning.